Welcome back and welcome to 2026. This is the first live stream of 2026. I can't even get over the idea of referring to 2025 as last year. These years just keep flying by. Let's see who's here early and on time. We have got first in is Phantom 6767. How are you doing, Phantom? Worry about you. I know you got stuff going on. Clarence is here. Phantom or Postech TV is here. Lobo 1G is here. Drive is here. Let's see. Elliot Hallisey is here. And John Whitesall is here. Y'all have to tune in tomorrow evening, my time, evening, well, after late afternoon. It'd be evening for East Coast people. John and I will be having a one-on-one convoy in American Truck Simulator. That's tomorrow, though. Tomorrow late. Let's see. Clarence Drive. Lowrider is here. Wim55 is here. And I second his sentiment, wishing everyone a safe and fun 2026. And from my perspective, I just hope it's a better year than the last two, or at least last year. Anyway, Vigner Hoxton is here. Nightbot is here, so watch your P's and Q's. Turn off that caps lock key and don't spit out too many emojis or Nightbot will get you. Adam Buser is here. Matt Walter is here. Phantom's still getting over it. Okay. Well, I hope you can make it later today for some other activities that we have scheduled in the Discord. Okay, so what are we doing? Where are we? Oh, I haven't even gotten into my truck cab yet. So obviously we're doing Euro Truck Simulator. We're also doing ProMods 2.80. Fast. Faster than I was expecting. So I have ProMods installed, the latest version of ProMods that now works with Nordic Horizon. So let's go to the map view real quick. And you can see I've got a load booked up here in Kirkenes. Now, for those of you who paid attention or have been in the game up in the Nordic Horizon area, Kirkenes does not exist in Nordic Horizons. And so I wanted to find a load either coming out of that area or going to that area. I actually wanted to go to the dam down here, but I couldn't find anything that I was looking for. So Bugwash is here, watching whilst driving. Oh, okay. I thought we were, you and the wife were going somewhere, but no, I got it. I need more coffee. That's all. Just need more coffee. So here we've got this load going 1,459 kilometers from one area that is not included in Nordic Horizon, which means it's added through ProMods, and going to another area that has been added through ProMods. In fact, I don't remember this area before at all. This island out here or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't remember that in previous iterations of ProMods. So apparently Nordic Horizons has added at least the island, and then ProMods has added 2 locations out here. And we're going to Andenes. I'm sure I mispronounced that. And then there's also this other place, Volvo. Actually, wait a minute, may have gone there now that I think about it. The plan was to include up to 60 cities and towns instead of the 40 that we got with Nordic Horizon. Okay, well, we're going to hit 2 of them. And there are some others like Murmansk and what these Russian cities over here. That is all ProMods over there. So, but we're not going to go there. We're just going to focus on this because I actually found a load that goes from Kirkenes to Andenes. We'll go with that. Then of course we've got Svalbard, we've got Iceland, and we've got Nuuk on Greenland, and the islands up here. So, but we're only going to focus on this today. So let's get going. After a little bit more coffee. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Let's get back into the world here. I want to do a few shout outs. I was a little late getting started today because I was updating the shout outs list. And Dennis is part of Nordic Horizons? Oh, okay. Maybe I should have checked that on my other profile that doesn't have ProMods. Because it seems to me that Svolvar is included in Nordic Horizons. So I could have that wrong. But I know Kirkenes is not, because it's as soon as we got Nordic Horizons, that's the first thing I looked at. Did they get over there? So Isabella Hagloff, Rob Strecker, aka Lurch, who was not with me in Discord to read the live chat today, so I'll do my best. Bedrock, our top ATS driver for February 2023, Bill Welburn, Nicholas XXXN, Susan Arthur, our top Euro truck driver for August 2025. And Susan is also our top driver for 2025 for both American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. She is just a driving beast. Captain Minnesota, Omega Trucking, our top ATS driver for January 2024. Trucker Kitty, Norwegian Trucker Nicholas, Big Owl 2424, our top ATS driver for March 2025, and our top ATS driver for all of 2023. Tasmified, Johnny Hansen, Lobo 1G, our top Euro Truck driver for July 2025. Pugwash, our top Euro Truck driver for April 2024. Phantom 6767, our top Euro Truck driver for October 2024. Wim 55, our top ATS driver for March 2024. David Long, aka Shorty, our top ATS and Euro Truck driver for September 2025. And Wolf Tank 71, new on the list there, or flatbedders. So we'll get to some other folks after a bit. Let's get rolling. We are hauling today 26 tons of diesel from Circle K to Spedman. Clarence, I don't have a favorite route in Euro Truck. I like driving everywhere, mostly. Look at this scenery. I could really feel the weight of this load. Now, I've got a strong engine, so we won't have any trouble pulling it, but man, I sure can feel it. You know, I'm just taking in the scenery here. This is the first time I've driven in this new area. Revamped area. So did everybody have a nice New Year's and Christmas? Or should I say Christmas and New Year's? Maybe I better get back into the cab while I'm doing these curves. Still doing loads in Louisiana, Adam. That's good. We need more loads run in Louisiana. In and out of. I haven't checked how it looks today. But yesterday when I looked, we were only a little over 92 million miles of the community goal. We need 125. Now tomorrow during the members live stream, I plan on doing a long haul run either into or out of Louisiana. Trying to do my part. Wow, we're chug-a-lugging up here. Adam, I've seen my share of loads staying, within Louisiana, but they're fairly short because it's not a big state. But you can get loads, really, dude? You can get loads, going from Fort Chun and New Orleans going up to Shreveport or the opposite direction. Yeah, you just drive in circles there. You know what? I did not plan out a stop along the way. And I think I need to do that, but I'm going to wait. Just saw the shadow of an airplane go by. Oh, because there's an airport. Just amazing scenery. Matthew Roth is here. Yeah, Adam, I've seen a lot of loads going just like that. Just like you just said. And Sound Fixes Pack is here. Welcome to 2026. Well, Sound Fixes Pack, welcome to the adventure. Ooh, I guess I better slow down. I did start this journey with a full tank of fuel and a full clock. So should be good to go for fuel. Let's look at the clock real quick. 7. Let's see, it should probably stop in about 6 hours. Well, I haven't got very far, considering. Wow. Yeah, not gonna make that. It's slow going with all this hill climbing and twists and turns, so I will plan on stopping here. Plus, there's a photo opportunity. This must be the Finland Norway border crossing. I do have to be mindful of timeliness because this is a freight market load. Is that a hidden road? We got 41 hours to get it there, but we're going to be stopping for rest breaks a couple of times. Now, over the course of the past couple of weeks, I had planned to create some regular videos that I did not get done for various reasons. Although I did get one video done for the members, exclusive members exclusive. If you're a channel member, be sure to check that out. I mean, it's just a playthrough of the viewpoints, I think, of Winterland. That's pretty neat. Hey, Susan. Pass, whatever that city. I'm gonna go look at that real quick. Oh, right here. So somewhere around here it transitions to Nordic Horizon. Okay, cool. Good to know. Well, looks like we're about to leave Norway and enter Finland. Missed those little announcements when you're entering a country. Wow, dude. Oh, I hadn't realized we were already there, Vigner. The Winterland event is about to end. Well, hopefully everyone's got their Winterland loads done. Yes, Susan, I'm driving my Scania. I have over 200,000 kilometers on this. Not as many as Thor, but then I drive different trucks sometimes. Clarence. That was a neat stream. I hope to do more things like that this year. Let's see, Susan, that is a mod. Check the description for my mods list. It is not the camera mod, it is a different one that's listed in there. Wagner, I guess we better get busy helping the community to get that 125 million miles. And by we, I mean us collectively as a community. Like I said, I've done quite a few miles, a few thousand miles this month, helping. I know collectively, our community has done tens of thousands of miles to help that. And I'll do some more tomorrow. You know, I've said it before, and now I'll say it again. Driving through here, driving through this area reminds me of driving through parts of northern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. Very similar. I would imagine it's similar to parts of Canada too, like Ontario and that area, or whatever is west of Ontario. I'm sure if Rick Rashid is in the audience, he could tell us which province is west of Ontario without having to look it up. Adam, yes. Besides, Big trucks have to follow the same signs as cars. Sometimes there's more restrictions on trucks. So Vigner, we're still at 93 million, less than 94 million miles of the 125. Manitoba, I think that's right. And Vigner has confirmed it. Looks like we're rolling back into Norway up ahead. Oh, speed limit's 50 here. 30. I was doing 80. Ooh. That was almost a ticket. I guess Norway and Finland are separated by this river in this area, just like the last one. So we're coming up on our rest stop. Let me do a time check. 3 hours. Yeah, we better stop. Don't need fuel. I'm just headed for the sleep trigger. Let's see. What time is it? Almost 7 p.m. Let's see what happens when we sleep. Hey, now it's almost 4 a.m. Look how light it is. All right, what do we got? 11. Really? Next rest stop in 11 hours? What can we get? Thank you, Drive. Let's see. What if we go here? 8 hours. Hours. Here's a sleep trigger. Oh, there's an. This is a little bit easier to hit. There's one too. Yeah, that needs to be our target. Let's let me catch up on that. Chat, don't forget to hit that like button like a trucker. Well, don't hit it too hard like a trucker. See, so just in case, there's another rest break or sleep trigger here at that viewpoint. So if we run into a bind, that we might have to stop there. So I'll do some shout outs while I'm sitting here. Semi Parliament of Norway. Interesting. Look at this beautiful scenery here. We'll leave it right there while I do shout outs. So, trucking through video, Nick, David H74, RD04 Day, we're top ATS driver for March 2023. Can you believe that's almost 3 years ago? So, we're coming up on 4-year anniversary for, well, yeah, 4 years ago. I posted, my channel's much older than that, but the video that went viral, the first American Truck Simulator video, was I posted in a week from now or so. It would have been 4 years ago. Troken, Douglas Williams. Where's Willie? I haven't seen Willie yet. JC Drives, our top Euro truck driver for March 2025. Lee01 Mr. Lee Jenkins, Jennifer Roth, Pancake Man, Ken Beard, Wet Willie Gaming, Grumpy Gruntpaw Gaming, and Road Trip Nerd. We'll do some more in a little bit. Although I don't know if there's that many stop signs around here. Traffic lights. Can I just take a picture of that place? It's not changing the little photo image. It's not changing. It's interesting. Seems to me this was a bug that we've seen before when Nordic Horizon first came out. I would have thought it would have been fixed by now. Vigner, sorry. 6 million miles? Is that a combination of Euro truck and American truck? Or just American truck? Good thing nobody was coming, because I either would have either would have had a head-on with them or rolled over onto them. Taking that curve too fast for this load. Okay, ATS. Well, that's a lot of miles. Ken Beard is here. Welcome, Red. Should not be passing here. Okay, there, now you got oncoming traffic. Wow. Look at that road over there. You know, this is the first time I've driven an Euro truck all month. Well, Drive, I'm glad you asked. These here fancy coffee mugs are available in merch store, as well as this hat and this thermal mug. I needed extra coffee at my desk today, and this keeps it warm. Hold on a second. I almost had a coffee accident. And while we're here, I wanted to see this. Damn. That's pretty cool. Why not get a photo? Because this is kind of cool. Whoops. That's neat. Rider says, I think the reason we are so far behind on the Louisiana event is the simultaneous Nordic Horizons event. That and the fact that Nordic Horizons is so incredibly good. I do believe that's a factor. I think it's a big factor. I also think it's just the fact that Louisiana is not as popular as Nordic Horizon. But I'm enjoying driving in Louisiana. Like we're leaving Norway for Finland again. Oh, that warning sign for speed camera up here. Oop, 30. If I'm not mistaken, speed cameras don't give you any allowance. Thomas Burger is here. Clarence, I can answer that question for you. We are getting Illinois and South Dakota this year. Oh, I just had a coffee emergency accident. Some coffee. What a shame. Yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those states. Illinois, for the reasons that folks were talking about earlier, Chicago. I drove through Illinois a lot back in my trucking days. And even into Chicago. I didn't go into Chicago very much, but I did do some deliveries into Chicago proper. Mostly I did deliveries and pickups on a lot of them in the suburbs of Chicago. Collectively, I refer to that as Chicagoland. There's a lot of areas like Interstate 55 between St. Louis and Chicago. I always enjoyed that drive because it was flat. A lot of farmland in Illinois. And most of the state is, well, all of the state is pretty flat. I'm looking forward to Bloomington, Illinois. Went through there a lot. There's 2 main truck stops there that I hit several times. There's a Pilot Flying J and a TA. TA meaning Travel Centers of America. Yeah, got a little parade going on here. Ken Meselman, Jorhita Rusu, Manny Oy, Herbert Harris, Paul Lansford. Do you know or remember the way a truck can get into or near downtown? No, I never went downtown. The places that I went to were out in the outer areas of Chicago proper. Because downtown is not meant for trucks. Same thing with Lakeshore Drive. Never went there in a truck. I've been downtown Chicago and Lakeshore Drive, but not as a truck driver. Went there a few times in my corporate travels back when I had a corporate job. Oh, we're really close to Sweden. We're not going to Sweden, at least not here. Truck parking area. Anyone else getting a laggy stream? Okay. That's 2. Let me check on something quick. Adam says, I know I-90 and I-94 in Chicago gets back update. Oh, it's horrendous. Yeah, and 294, I think it is. Let's see. What am I getting here? I'm not getting any dropped frames. The stream looks good from OBS standpoint. Not got any messages from YouTube, so it's probably just some temporary glitch. Thanks, Susan. Could also be, as Clarence says, only one time today when I was going up a hill. So occasionally, may get some stuttering in the game, which could look like lag. Unless, of course, you got the little swirly circle thingy. But I'm getting, overall, I'm getting a good frame rate. I've been getting around 60 frames. Even in this area. When I get into the built-up areas, it gets a little, it drops, the frame rate drops. That's frame rate, not bit rate going out. Could just be a busy day on the internet. I blame the Russians. They could be messing with stuff. I mean, I'm just kidding, but could be. Seeing as how a lot of you folks are getting the stream delivered to you through transatlantic fiber optic cables, if there's a lot of internet activity going to those pipelines, that could impact. Wow, Pugwash, that does not sound like fun. Well, here's a viewpoint up here. Let's see which one this is. I think we'll get it, and I'll do some shout outs while we're watching the viewpoint. Oh yeah, I've done this one. Wise Mind Facts. John Whitesall, our top ATS driver for August 2025. The Stony Tony Show, R.I.P. Paris Hilly. Truck Dog, Mohammed Helmi. Casual Gaming World. Hey, Andre Benefir is here. Dr. Rohita Shavabdub. Sorry. Asorito, Amanda Diaz, Andrew Stauber, DQ, Jared the Best 154 Xbox, Rosemary C, Rob Fay, Jaffo 729, Matthew Fields, Pixel Raid, Brett Brady. That is all of the shout outs. Yay. I can focus on just driving. One big sleep trigger, apparently. By the way, when I was talking about the mugs and stuff in the merch store, there's a link in the description below, and I think there's also one that Nightbot pops up every once in a while. Ooh, look at that. Maybe it's safer to be on top. Catch this scenery. Another border crossing. Back into Norway. Scenery never gets old. Oops. Felt like I came pretty close to hitting that guardrail. And that's the danger of being a looky-loo. Looking at the scenery when you should be looking where you're going. Well, that's a good point, Drive. Although I would think that most of the people that are driving here in real life pretty much take it all for granted and just focus on where they're going. If you think about it in terms of where you drive to and from every day, I bet you don't pay that much attention to a lot of the little areas you drive to every day. Wow, look at that. Hold on, I gotta look at that. That looks so cool. Wow. Something about that scene with the meadow and the cows, the little farm. Wow. You know, thinking about it in terms for myself, when I was driving over the road, driving through some of the really scenic areas around the country, the first few times I drove through there, that moose? Hey, it's a moose. I can do something about this light. There, that's better. First few times I drove through any particular scenic area, you know, I tended to fixate on the scenery of it, but after a while it just kind of blended into the drive. Yeah, sound fixes, I agree. Those low clouds up there in the mountain valleys. Look at this. Just look at that. surprised there's no sleep trigger here. It's big enough. The yeah, Vigner. It will be interesting to see how they do Great or Iceland. I mean, ProMods does Iceland pretty awesome. I just got a yawn. How much time do I have? An hour and a half. I better stop here. Pardon me, excuse me, come through. First we'll do the viewpoint. It's because we can. Woo! It's loud. Where's this her? Well, that's awesome to hear, Clarence. Always nice to have somebody watch my older videos and live stream replays. Well, Adam, I can tell you that, I mean, I agree with your sentiment. I'm looking forward to that. I can tell you that looking at Lake Michigan from the Chicago and Indiana area is like looking out on the ocean. Typically fewer waves, fewer big waves. But it's just because the other side of the lake is beyond the horizon or visible horizon. It's just like looking out over the ocean. Okay, so need to hit that sleep trigger. Invisible wall. Wow. I guess it must be over here then. There we go. And you see the lakes from I-90 and the Chicago area. Yes, but not really to get over cross into Indiana. Yeah, pretty much. I think there might be a few spots. No, I'm thinking of I-94. Never mind. All right, so we can close that out. We don't need that anymore. We've got 8 hours, 8.5 hours of driving at full speed, so we'll have to make good time. How much time do we have before we have to make delivery? Well, we got to do it, and we got to get going. Wow. Yeah, Adam, it would be. I don't know if that's going to be available to us in American Truck Simulator, though. We shall see. Hopefully, we'll see Illinois in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm not sure the exact timeline. Hey, there's Rick Rashid. Well, Adam, I believe we will see Springfield. Springfield, I mean, is the state capital, I think. And Interstate 55 goes through Springfield, as I recall, I think. I'm glad to see there are a lot of sleep triggers along the way. But that's Nordic Horizon that added all those. When this was just ProMods, there wasn't, my recollection is that there wasn't near as many. Lowrider, I feel the same way, but I don't do World of Trucks loads when I'm doing ProMods because you can, it doesn't always work out well. First of all, you can't do World of Trucks loads to or from a city that's only in ProMods. Secondly, ProMods sometimes changes up the depot. And you can drive for an hour or two to get to your delivery, only to find out that the World of Trucks cannot synchronize with the destination, causing you to lose the load. Same thing with ferries. ProMods adds more ferries. So my standard procedure is to not use World of Trucks loads while driving in ProMods areas. Otherwise, I prefer World of Trucks loads. Vigner, they said that they're not going to get it done in time for the actual anniversary of the Route 66. And I believe that is next month, February. So I think Illinois is not, and the Route 66 rework is probably not going to happen until or before March. Or maybe February was the 10th anniversary of ATS. I don't remember. Anyway, it's going to be close. Same year anyway. Within a few months. Probably within 2 months is my guess. Sorry, I can't read the whole thing because I got too many twists and turns in the road at the moment. Ooh. And a construction zone. Yes, I watched that live stream as well, or the replay of it, and that was what I took from that. Clarence, that's because that Christmas event is tied to SCS. And SCS does not do a phone driving game. So that was unique to SCS. Clarence, if you have a PC or console, you can get American Truck or Euro Truck and participate in it next Christmas. Suskins, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Lowrider, it is a trade-off, but is that a hidden road? That's a hidden road. But I enjoy the scenery of ProMods so much that I'm willing to deal with non-World of Trucks loads. Oops. Uh-oh. Well, that's a Swiftie. So I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at chat. Really, Sound Vixes. I mean, you can do it. You can do World of Trucks loads for sure. But, and actually within Nordic Horizons, that shouldn't be a problem. As long as there was no depots that got rearranged by ProMods. Big issue with ProMods Europe and World of Trucks loads is you take one of the ProMods ferries, you'll lose the load. Even if it's World of Trucks, you take it across a ferry that was introduced by ProMods, you'll lose it. Pugwash can attest to that. Gotta say, it feels like I'm actually driving in this location. Just the graphics here. I have no idea if it actually looks like this, but it feels real. Scenery, the lighting. Yeah, John, the immersion is incredible. Ah. Whoops. Manioy reefer hauler for 10 months. Did that pop up on the stream yet? Ooh, we turning here. Did not. I'm gonna have to go into the stream elements and re-verify the connection. 10 months for Manioy. No. I'm done wearing ties. Enough, I gotta have a collar. I'll get the coach DLC, but that's not gonna be a thing I'm gonna focus on much. I'm a truck driver, not a bus driver. But I'll get it, and I'll do videos about it. Probably even live stream. I'm a truck driver. But I'm kind of looking forward to the coach thing just because. Just to see what it's like. Same thing with the car DLC in American Truck. I'm not overly excited about that either, but I do at least want to check it out to see what it's about. We'll see. Depends on how much it is. Well, that's my thought, John, that it might be fun to drive a coach around Euro truck area. Plus, they're putting some. It's not just about driving, like an American Truck with the car thing. That looks to me like it's just going to be about driving, unless they add a hot shots feature where you can haul cargo. But with the coaches DLC, there's actually gonna be a passenger component. You'll be rated based on passenger satisfaction. So that'll be interesting. how we're doing on timing. We got a little over 3 hours to make this delivery. And we should get there in less than 3 hours, which is a little tight. Yeah, Suitskins, I kind of feel the same way. I'm not sure I get the point. Other than just to be able to drive around and see the scenery, go to the national parks like Pavel said. But I'm not overly excited about it. But I gotta do it just because. Check it out. Vigner, you can drive there, you just can't typically take a trailer with you. You can bobtail to those areas. But the whole purpose of the game is to haul cargo and trailers. Yeah, I've gotten a find at every one of those locations. Although they're in Yellowstone and Glacier National Park, there are some delivery locations. Ooh, 30. Clarence, I don't have a mileage goal. Never set a goal for mileage, except for our monthly targets, 10,000 miles and or 12,000 kilometers. But that's about driving in the BTT Virtual Trucking Company. Never set targets for driving distances overall. Outside of that, never occurred to me. See, as a truck driver, it's about hauling and delivering cargo. And making money doing that. In ATS and Eurotruck, it's similar, but it's more about driving as you can around life's interruptions. Is there a 2-hour warning or so? I need to focus on getting there safely. Reminds me, did I damage the cargo? No, just my truck. When I get done making this delivery, I'd like to do a comparison of this area between what it looks like with ProMods versus what it looks like without it. So if you want to see that, stick around, and what I'll do is I'll change profiles. I'll look at the map, we'll study it, then I'll switch profiles to a different profile without ProMods, and then we'll look at the map again and study that. Boom, boom time. Keith Cersei is here. Oh, Pilot's here. Do you have a goal, Pilot, for how much you want to drive throughout the year? Never occurred to me. My goal has always been to complete each load successfully, one after the other. Think you're gonna like this game? I love this game. What are you talking about? You know, it's coming up on 4 years. In a couple of months, it'll be 4 years. Oops. Since I first got Euro Truck. And I have enjoyed it immensely. Oh, here we are. Our destination city. Got 31 minutes to get this delivered. No traffic lights, no stop signs. There's a yield sign. Whoa! Chaos! Neither of us have traffic control signs. That's insane. This should be the priority road. Oh, just got a yawn. Well, after making delivery, we can come back here to this sleep trigger and get a coffee. Well, sleep. Okay, let's see what I missed. Yay, not late. Adam says he's completing. Oh, wait. That little rest area right here, we'll hit that, and then I'll park it there. And then I'll catch up on chat. And then we'll look at the map as well. Rain. Well, that's no fun. Look at the map. I'll catch up on chat. Let's see. What's the last thing I saw? Pilot Bro was talking about goals. Vigner says we should aim to drive more than 6 million kilometers this year in ATS and try to go over 5.1. I think you meant miles, right, Vigner? 6 million miles in ATS, maybe. Let's see. This is at least. How many miles is that? Got a misplaced zero or comma there. Let's see. 10,000, 120,000. I'm guessing that's what you meant. 120,000 miles and 144,000 kilometers in ATS and Euro Truck, respectively. Yeah, that's a good goal. Adam says I'm completing all the companies and roads in state. I like that goal. All the companies in one city at a time. Okay. It's confirmed he's got the comma in the wrong spot. Took me a moment to parse that out. Oh, sometimes typing is hard. I struggle with it lately. Lurch popped in to leave his like. Welcome, Lurch. Pooped by Lurch. What? Lowrider, yes, but I've never seen an intersection in Euro Truck that wasn't marked in some way, either a sign with marking the priority road, as well as traffic control signs for cross streets, or if you're on the cross street. I'm not used to seeing them without it. Otherwise, you get chaos. But yeah, yield the right away to someone on the right. But I felt like I was on the primary road or the priority road. Okay, let's take a look at the map here in northern, what is basically Nordic Horizon. So with ProMods in, this is what it looks like. And I know that ProMods adds this stuff over here, all of the stuff in Russia, plus Kirkenes and the surrounding cities. It's all added by ProMods. So I thought this was too, but now I'm thinking it's not ProMods. But as someone else said. So let me take a look. A screenshot of that. And back out. That rain is loud. And switch to this one will work. Susan, if you're still here, did you see the camera mirror thing on the side of the truck? When you get that mod, you have to go to a shop and actually change the type of mirror you're using to get that the video whatever this mirror monitors inside. It's gonna take a minute. Yeah, there's the last of that. Yeah. Get you one of these. Merch store, link in the description below, I think. This is taking a while to load. Okay, let's look at the map. Yep, there it is, sure enough. It is there in Nordic Horizon. However, all this other stuff is not there. So we drove from around here, and I think we crossed in here and then crossed back and back again, and we went through this town here. We didn't go through Karuna. Let me take a screenshot of this. I can compare these later. Maybe if I remember, I'll even post it in the community tab on the channel. So, by the way, that reminds me. Did you see that I posted the VTC results last month? I was wondering if you guys could read that information, because it's, when I looked at it on my computer, it looked really small, and YouTube wouldn't let me blow it up. I looked at it on my phone. I could, pinch and zoom in to see better, but not on a computer. Yes, ProMods has Svalbard and Iceland and Greenland. Anyway, that is going to do it for today. I am glad you were all here to enjoy this drive with me. I don't remember how far it was. I'll look at that later. I think it was over 1,400 kilometers, which is long enough to get to max out on distance for hardcore. We'll see how I did on the rest of that later. And if you haven't already done so, please leave a like on your way out the door. Again, thanks for being here today after taking a couple weeks off. Glad to be back and glad you're here with me. Thank you, Thomas. We'll see most of you tomorrow.